Welcome to the LEADR tutorial for creating Omeka items. My name is Zach Francis and I will be walking you through what an item is and why it is significant, how to create an item on your Omeka website, and finally how to browse, edit, and search for items that you have created. If you have any questions beyond the scope of this video, check the handouts provided by LEADR or contact your GA. First off, why is it important that we know about items? The most important reason is that items are the building blocks of Omeka. You will use them to build your digital exhibits, tell your stories, and support your analyses. They will provide the singular pieces of evidence which together inform both the structure and content of your broader research project. So rather than creating an exhibit and finding items to fill it, you will be building an exhibit from your items. So what is an item exactly? An item is composed of two main ingredients, one of which is the digital resource or resources. This will most often be an audio clip, an image, or a video. But many types of digital media are possible digital resources. A digital resource on its own, however, is not much use without its context. Take this photograph. Without any context, you can probably tell that this is a historical photo of an indigenous person. You may even be able to recognize that this is Sitting Bull. But where was this photo taken and for what purpose? Who is the photographer? Without this vital context, we lose out on much of the meaning. How we decide to organize this context is referred to as metadata. Think of things like title, description, creator, or other categories that are useful when you are trying to organize data. We will get more into metadata in a later tutorial, but for now, think about metadata as the necessary and vital context behind your digital content. So to build items, you will need digital resources and their associated metadata. There are many sources for digital media, but of course some sources are better than others. The Library of Congress provides one trustworthy source. The Library of Congress, besides being the source of the actual image that you can download, also provides additional information, such as title, summary, and description. This additional information is the metadata and vital context behind the digital resource mentioned earlier. Once you have found any digital resource and its metadata, you can begin adding it to Omeka as an item. I will now demonstrate the process of adding an item into Omeka using Sitting Bull's photograph from the Library of Congress. First, log into your Omeka website, then navigate to the Browsing Items page by pressing the Items tab from your dashboard. From the Browse Items page, you may browse, add, and search for items. To add your own item, select the Add Item button. Now you will have to fill out several tabs of the Add an Item page. The first tab is called Dublin Core. This tab is called Dublin Core because that is the metadata standard that Omeka uses. You can see 15 metadata fields such as title, subject, description, publisher, and so on. A metadata standard means that people will use the same fields to describe their own data. This makes comparisons across collections much easier. However, even if a reputable source is not using the same standard as you, there should still be some form of metadata to provide the context that you need. For example, on the Library of Congress page, we can see that this metadata isn't perfectly formatted into the Dublin Core metadata standard that we are using. There is an option, however, at the bottom that allows us to format this metadata exactly into Dublin Core. Some sources will have this available, and others you will just have to translate the metadata over. Enter all the metadata information that is available to you into the Dublin Core tab. The Library of Congress provides us with much of the metadata, but as you will often find, not every field of metadata is available. You can choose to search for the metadata on another website, fill in the blanks if you are confident you know the correct information, or you can simply leave the space empty. If there is no metadata available for a field, then sometimes it is just impossible to make up for it and you have to leave it blank. Finish up entering the metadata by transitioning to the Item Type Metadata tab. Here you'll have to select the item type for your digital resource and fill out any associated metadata. Oftentimes your digital resource will be a still image. After you finish entering in the metadata, select the Files tab. Here you will finally add the digital resources for your item. Select the Browse button, search for the file on your computer, and upload it to Omeka. The final data entry step is adding tags to your item. Simply add in any relevant subject tags that you would like, separated by a comma. Then press the Add Tags button. The final step is adding your item. Before adding your item, make sure that the public box is checked. I cannot emphasize this enough. Your item will not be viewable unless you mark the public checkbox under the Add Items button. Finally, press the Add Item button. This will bring you to the Browse Items page where you will receive a message saying that your item was successfully added. Viewing your item on the Browse Items page, you'll notice that you can view details, edit, and delete your item. And once the number of items increases, you'll probably want to know how to search for your item. Click the Search Items button here. You may search for your item using any number of categories, though it will probably be most useful for you to search by user. After you've entered in your criteria, press the Search for Items button. Results should appear with any items matching your search criteria. That brings us to the end of this tutorial. For any questions, please consult the handouts or contact your graduate assistant. Thank you for watching.